Some men chase wealth. Others are born into it. But then, there are those who build their fortunes through ruthlessness, power, and intimidation. Nicolas Van Hoogstraten was one of those men. By the time he was 22, he was already a self-made millionaire. A real estate kingpin. A businessman feared by many. But how did he get there? And more importantly, how did he disappear without a trace? This is the dark story of Nicolas Van Hoogstraten, the billionaire who vanished. Nicolas Marcel Hoogstraten was born in 1945 in Shoreham-by-Sea, England. Unlike the billionaires of today, he didn't grow up in Silicon Valley, and he didn't invent any revolutionary technology. No, his mind was set on one thing: wealth and power. At just 15 years old, Nicolas wasn't like other teenagers. While his classmates were thinking about school and sports, he was already making money. He started by buying and selling rare stamps, earning thousands of pounds before most kids even had a part-time job. But Nicolas wasn't satisfied with small deals. He saw something bigger. By 17, he realized the real money wasn't in stamps, it was in land. Real estate. And he was determined to dominate it. The 1960s were a golden time for real estate in the UK. Cities were expanding, businesses were growing, and property values were skyrocketing. And Van Hoogstraten saw this as his perfect opportunity. He started buying cheap, run-down properties in struggling areas. But he didn't just renovate them, he removed the tenants, by any means necessary. Some tenants claimed they were harassed into leaving. Others said their homes were suddenly damaged or set on fire. Whether the allegations were true or not, one thing was clear: Van Hoogstraten was rising, and fast. By 22, he had become one of Britain's youngest self-made millionaires. And he wasn't stopping there. He wanted more, much more. But with great power comes great enemies. And Nicolas Van Hoogstraten had plenty. In 1968, he was arrested for ordering a brutal attack on a business associate. He had sent hired thugs to beat the man, sending a clear message: "Do not cross me." He was sentenced to 4 years in prison, but even that didn't stop him. When he got out, he was richer than ever. He started building the most expensive private house in Britain, a lavish mansion known as Hamilton Palace. But his thirst for power and dominance only grew. Then came the crime that would shake Britain. In 1999, a businessman named Mohammed Raja was found dead in his home. Stabbed multiple times. The prime suspect? Nicolas Van Hoogstraten. Raja had been in a financial dispute with Van Hoogstraten for years. Witnesses said he was terrified of what Van Hoogstraten might do to him. And then, he was murdered. The trial was intense. The evidence was strong. And in 2002, Van Hoogstraten was convicted of manslaughter. But then, something unbelievable happened. His conviction was overturned. He walked free. Some say his power and wealth allowed him to escape justice. Others believe there was something even darker happening behind the scenes. After the trial, Van Hoogstraten started selling off his UK properties. His real estate empire was crumbling. And then, he disappeared. Some say he fled to Zimbabwe, where he lived in a massive palace guarded by armed security. Others claim he hid his fortune in offshore accounts, controlling his wealth from the shadows. As of today, he is believed to be in his 80s. Some sources say he is still alive, living quietly in Africa. But there's no official confirmation. Did he escape justice forever? Or is he still pulling the strings behind a hidden empire? The mystery remains. So what do you think? Was he a genius businessman, or a criminal mastermind? Did he really escape justice, or is he still controlling an empire in the shadows? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you love stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. More shocking stories are coming soon.